What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Men of Strength and Purpose. Today I want to talk about something every man goes through, but almost nobody talks about. And uncertainty, not knowing where things are going with your career, with your family, with relationships, or even with your future. Most men panic in uncertainty. They lose themselves, they chase, they overthink, they react emotionally. But real power, real leadership, that comes from learning how to stay grounded when life doesn't give you clear answers. So, kind of leads into my first topic here, and my first topic is going to be what uncertainty does to a man. Okay, we got to start there. When life feels unclear, most guys do one of two things. They try to control everything, or they just fall apart. And that's the two things that happen. Both come from the same root. It comes from fear itself. Fear of losing something, fear of being alone, fear of not being enough, are some of the fears that can come out. And here's the truth. That fear makes you act in ways that push the world away and cause you to suffocate your blessings. But the men who operate in strength, they don't respond out of fear. They respond out of purpose. Okay? So that leads me into section 2 here. The power of stillness. There's a time there's a time to act, and there's a time to be still. And most men get those backwards. When things feel uncertain, that's usually the moment you need to slow down. Not disappear, not withdraw into bitterness, and most certainly not to beg for clarity, but to take time and breathe, let things unfold. Stay rooted in who you are, not who someone expects you to be. Because stillness isn't weakness, stillness is control. You're telling the world, I move when I decide, not when my panic tells me to move. And I'm guilty of all of this myself, and it takes time to learn and get through these things. So you got to focus on what you can control, which gets me into section 3. When life feels unpredictable, bring back your power to what you can control. And that starts with, your routine, your discipline, your mindset, your health, your faith, your diet, controlling what you eat. Too many men pour all their energy into things they can't control. Someone's opinion, someone's distance, someone's mixed emotions. But you can't build a stable life on unstable ground, right? But you can build a stable you. And when you keep showing up for yourself quietly, consistently, people notice. Your energy shifts. Your presence becomes stronger. And ironically, the moment you stop trying to force outcomes is the moment outcomes start lining up for you. And that's just the reality of it. Which is going to lead me into section 4 here, which talks about why patience is a form of strength. Patience is underrated in our generation. Everybody wants instant answers all the time. With everything in life, it's instant gratification. But real strength is being able to say, I don't need to rush this. What's meant for me won't pass me. Patience doesn't mean waiting around helplessly. It doesn't mean having enough self-respect to not chase what isn't ready. It means trusting your growth, trusting your journey, and trusting that time reveals the truth to you. And that's the reality of it, is taking your time, trusting in God and believing that it's going to work out. So in closing, if you're in a season in your life where someone pulled away or life feels uncertain, or hear me clearly, okay? You don't need to force anything in your life. You don't need to prove anything to anybody. And you most certainly don't need to panic, okay? You need to stand firm. You need to keep growing. And you need to let your presence speak, not your anxiety. Because when a man becomes solid, the right people come back. The right opportunities come back. Not because he chased them, but because his strength and his peace became impossible to ignore. This is men of purpose and strength. Stay grounded, stay disciplined, stay becoming the man God created you to be, and keep trudging the happy road of destiny with us. Thanks, guys.